Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Monday, and you know what that means. It's time for another episode of the Raw Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you all the wrestling action from Monday Night Raw, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Now, why, thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 2390. I finally caught up. All my videos are up from over the weekend. Check them out and check them out. It's great. Mainly, I gotta apologize to Jayden and Lilith. You guys are driving me crazy with all this sex talk, man. I mean, listen, I'm 48 years old. I know how it all works. You don't have to tell me and educate me. It's supposed to be a wrestling, because we're supposed to do a wrestling stream, and yet we're talking sex. Do it off camera. I'm going nuts over here. Like, somebody shut him up. I'm on the pull of Gary, you know. But anyways, all kidding aside, though, I just got out that Raw Reaction live stream. Fallout from Saturday Night's Main Event and Evolution Part 1. And that's why, because the other Fallout will be on the Fallout from Evolution Part 2 will be NXT, and Part 3 will be on SmackDown. So just check, So check it out then. So check out those episodes coming this week. We'll see what happens. So let's Naomi, the new Women's World Champion, kicked it off, and she's bragging about winning the championship and all, and says she's done with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. That's like better. So and then Rhea Ripley comes out saying that she wants her shot at the title. Io Sky comes out and says, listen, respect for you, but I want my title back too. And so Adam Pearce comes out, ladies, I understand. And he gave props to Io and Rhea, which was a heck of a matchup. And he decided that at SummerSlam there will be a rematch of sorts. It'll be a triple threat match, Naomi defending it against Io Sky and Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam. As you know, a couple of years ago, Io Sky had the Money in the Bank and cashed it in to become the new WWE Women's Champion when she was part of Damage Control with Bayley and Dakota Kai. Will history repeat itself for Io, or will Naomi retain, or will Rhea finally get her title back? Well, we'll know. Who knows for sure? So Judgment Day was Judgment Day. Finn Balor was shining the belts and said, you guys were the stars. And then he said, we get to give props to Roxanne Perez. No, I didn't. And Roxanne Perez, being humble, saying, I didn't do all the work. Raquel helped. He says, we got to keep it up. We got to keep it Chiquita. That's what she called Roxanne Perez, Chiquita. And then Dominic Mysterio is freaking out about AJ Styles stalking him and all that. He said, as long as you had the doctor's note, you're untouchable. One of these days AJ Styles is going to make Dominic eat that doctor's note. Anyways. So, they had a tag team matchup and an opportunity for the Kabuki Warriors to try to get back in the women's tag team title picture as they face the champs, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, on a non-title matchup. Of course, that idiot, Dominic Mysterio, the Intercontinental Champ, got involved in the match, and it cost the Kabuki Warriors in the end as Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez win the matchup. Hey, if you say, you're not medically clear to compete, and Dominic Mysterio takes a punch from Asuka, come on. Dominic Mysterio's an out liar, you know it. Man, if I faced Dominic Mysterio, I would knock him out with brass knucks, or get some ether, put him to sleep, and then put him in a barber's chair, shave his head, cut his hair completely, and shave his head, and shave his mustache. And then take off his shirt, give him a good Gunther chop, and then pour ice water on him. Cool off, boy. You're nothing. Meanwhile, at a golf tournament of sorts, it seems like The Miz is starting something with George Kittle. And George Kittle gave him a super kick. Miz, here's an idea. Don't disrespect George Kittle, and don't get your ego. So, I would not be surprised if a match between those two happened. So, you got celebrities getting involved in feuds and fights. You already got Jelly Roll. You get that idiot Beavis-looking butthead Logan Paul getting involved. You know, George Kittle. All right, let's get him in the ring. If he gets injured, I'm sure the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers will not be very happy. But nevertheless, the lovely Jackie Redmond interviewing Lyra Valkyria, as Lyra Valkyria says, "After I get done with Bayley, it's going to be about me getting my title back." And Bayley interrupts and says, "You should stay out of my way." It is 2 out of 3 falls matchup. And in the first fall in this matchup, because it just happened right after, for the number 1 contender, whoever wins this match faces Becky Lynch for the women's Intercontinental title at SummerSlam. And Bayley took the first fall, and then Lyra Valkyria took the next 2 falls to win the match, and Becky Lynch arrives after the match and confronts Lyra Valkyria. Both of them were talking smack. Jackie Redmond interviews Stephanie Valkyria as she wins the Battle Royal to get a title shot clash in Paris. But Chelsea Green and Secret Herbis interrupted Stephanie Valkyria. Valkyria was about to light her up, but the Secret Herbis tried to protect. Is now Chelsea Green on Raw now? So we'll see what happens there. And then Karrion Kross cuts a promo on Sami Zayn, calls him out for being injured and all that. Well, who knows? Sami Zayn may be thinking of a plan to try to stop Karrion Kross. So that Karrion Kross cannot let this thing go. But a lot of people love Karrion Kross. They want to see him. Guess what? It's an opportunity for him. Meanwhile, Nikki Bella, the WWE Women's Hall of Famer, took on Chelsea Green, and despite the Secret Herbis get involved during the matchup, Nikki Bella won by disqualification because Piper Niven got involved, and as they attacked Nikki Bella after the matchup, actually Nikki Bella did win by pinfall. They attacked Nikki Bella after the matchup, but then Stephanie Valkyria comes to Nikki's aid, and the two hug. So it seems like, respect between the two. I'm sure I would not be surprised if the Secret Herbis will get involved in a tag match or something like that. We'll see what happens. And then Pierce is confronted by Grayson Waller and New Day, who's still crying about losing their tag team titles. And they're like, we want a shot at the belts until we get it. And we'll dress like this till we get a shot at the belts. And he said, I found a way to try to get find number 1 contenders for the tag team titles. And you guys are going to be part of that to earn it. So, and then he sees the Judgment Day and says, "Hey, you look pretty, you look pretty healed up going out to get involved with the in their matchup against the Kabuki Warriors. But you know what? You're going to get have a reevaluation next week, and if you're cleared, we're going to put pen to paper the Intercontinental title match between you versus AJ Styles." And AJ Styles like praying and all that. And he goes, "Hey, look at Dominic." Once again, AJ Styles is hilarious. I like it. So AJ Styles keeps smiling. I would have said, listen, boy, either you be a man and defend the Intercontinental title, or I'm going to make sure you're going to be in the hospital, unable to defend the title to the point where you have to relinquish it. So if I were Dominic Mysterio, I would be telling the truth about if you're legit injured or not. Come on. Dominic Mysterio is BSing the fans, and he's BSing AJ Styles, and that's not, and Adam Pearce too, not right. Dominic Mysterio, boy, you better make a decision. Should be a hair versus hair match between those two for the Intercontinental title. And then Gunther confronts Penta as Penta was getting ready for the Gauntlet matchup, and it seems like Jackie Redmond and interviewing Rusev, and Rusev is determined to move on and try to get some gold around his waist. But then Sheamus interrupts Rusev and said, "Hey, you're not having a rematch." And it'll be banger after banger after banger. So there's that. Meanwhile, Braun Breaker, Gunther addresses the Gauntlet match and to the Birmingham crowd. He brags about beating Goldberg and putting him to sleep. And he says, "Who's next?" He steals Goldberg's phrase. Braun Breaker interrupts him. Paul Heyman says, Paul Heyman says that Braun Breaker will win the match and face Shield for the title. But couldn't be the first time Braun Breaker and Gunther go one-on-one, let me tell you. Then he faced Penta first, Braun Breaker, against Penta, and Braun Breaker won the match. LA Knight, supposedly the newest Raw superstar, tries his luck and could not beat until Breaker wins the match and goes against Jey Uso. Bronson Reed gets involved in the matchup and says no DQ. Braun Breaker helps advance. Then Braun Breaker faced CM Punk in the final match of the Gauntlet. Despite Bronson Reed getting involved, CM Punk picks up the victory and will get the shot at the title at SummerSlam. Meanwhile, Gunther was watching this from around the skybox area, in the suite area. And then Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed double team Punk after the matchup. Then Jimmy Uso came in and came back out to help out CM Punk. But then, as Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker stood tall, the OTC1 is back. The original Tribal Chief, much to the chagrin and shock of Paul Heyman. And Roman Reigns, clean house, acknowledge the original Tribal Chief. I'm putting up my one for that. So Roman Reigns, the man, is back. And cleans house. So that is it for episode 2390 of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Also, the Raw Live Reaction, Part 1 of the Fallout from Saturday night's main event, and Evolution. Tomorrow night will be Part 2 of the Fallout from Evolution on the NXT, because the NXT women were involved. What's going to happen tomorrow night? Will Blake Monroe explain her actions? I mean, it's self-explanatory. Blake Monroe, it's all about her. She wants to be the champion. And she's not going to let anybody like Jordan Grace stand in her way. But I'm sure Jordan Grace will have something to say about that. And like I said, if I were Blake Monroe, I would use a sick clause or sick. I would call in sick if I were Blake Monroe. But Blake Monroe could be playing mind games with Jordan Grace, and she probably knew Jordan Grace was going to get ticked off. Who knows? She'll act like she's not going to be there, but she may be. Who knows? But Jordan Grace, if I were, like I said, but Jordan Grace ain't going to play like that. I'll tell you what. You backstabbed Jordan Grace. She backstabbed Jordan Grace at the biggest event in women's history. And also, yeah. So, we'll see what happens there. So, that's tomorrow night for NXT. Also, tomorrow we'll do some high rollers as well. Finally got caught up on all my videos. Thank God. This video's going to got up and I'm going to bed. So, I'll see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful, blessed night. And until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and Door for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raven Bofa 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.